This is Spurge. This is also Spurge. And this, believe it or not, is Spurge too. It's one of the most aggressive weeds you'll ever deal with in your yard, and it doesn't care where it grows. Your lawn, your flower beds, your patio, and even the smallest crack in your driveway. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to get rid of it in every single one of those places. But more importantly, I'm going to show you how to make sure it never comes back again. Before we get into removal, you need to understand what you're actually dealing with, because if you skip this part, you're going to be fighting this same battle every single year for the rest of your life. Spurge doesn't just spread across your yard. It self-seeds, and it does it aggressively. A single spurge plant can produce thousands of seeds in one season. Thousands. And those seeds don't just disappear after the plant is gone. They sit in your soil, sometimes for years, waiting for the right conditions to germinate. So here's the problem with how most people deal with spurge. You pull it, it's gone, you feel good about it, and then next spring, it's back like nothing ever happened. That's because pulling the plant only deals with what's growing above ground right now. It does absolutely nothing about the seed bank sitting underneath your feet. So the real question isn't, how do I kill the spurge that's growing today? The real question is, how do I stop the next generation from ever coming up in the first place? Once that shift clicks for you, everything about how you handle this weed changes. Now here's the single biggest mistake homeowners make, and I see it constantly. They'll take a weed eater or a lawn mower straight through a patch of spurge, and that is genuinely one of the worst things you can do. Look closely at the base of this plant. Right down at the tips of the leaves, you'll notice small clusters of seeds and flowers. When you run a weed eater through that, you're not cutting the problem down, you're launching those seeds in every direction. What used to be one small patch turns into a full-blown outbreak across your entire yard within a season. I watched this happen over and over again, and it's almost always because someone reached for the mower instead of dealing with it properly. So let's talk about how to actually remove spurge the right way, because the method changes depending on exactly where it's growing. Let's start with flower beds. In this case, the old-fashioned method is genuinely the best method. Put on a pair of gloves and pull it by hand. Here's how to do it correctly, because there's a right way and a wrong way. First, gloves are non-negotiable. Spurge produces a milky white sap, and some people are allergic to it. It can cause a skin rash. You might handle it just fine, but you don't want to find out the hard way that you're one of the people who doesn't. Second, and this is the part almost everybody skips, don't just yank at the stem. Follow that stem all the way back down to the base of the plant. Spurge sends out runners along the ground, so gather all of them together into one handful before you pull, and do your absolute best to get the taproot out with it. If you leave the taproot behind, you've only done half the job, and it's going to grow right back within days. Now let's talk about hard surfaces, because this is where most people give up. If spurge is growing in a driveway, a patio, or between pavers, pulling it is nearly impossible. You'll rip off the top of the plant, but the root stays buried down in that crack, completely out of reach. Here's a homemade fix that works extremely well, and it's cheap enough that you probably already have everything you need in your kitchen right now. 1 gallon of white vinegar, 1 cup of salt, and 1 tablespoon of dish soap. Mix the vinegar and the salt together until the salt fully dissolves, then stir in the dish soap. Pour that into a spray bottle and spray it directly onto the spurge growing in your cracks. Within a matter of days, it'll be completely gone. But I want to be very clear about something important here. Never use this solution anywhere near plants you actually want to keep. Your flower beds, your ornamentals, anything you're trying to grow on purpose. The salt will build up in your soil and damage plant health long term, and the vinegar throws off your soil's pH. This mixture is strictly for hardscape areas only. Driveways, patios, sidewalk cracks, and nowhere else. Now, if spurge has already made its way into your actual lawn, your turf grass, that's a different situation entirely, because it can take over a healthy lawn shockingly fast. For turf grass, the product I reach for contains an active ingredient called 2,4-D. It works by mimicking natural plant growth hormones in broadleaf plants, which is exactly the category spurge falls into without harming your grass. When you're standing in the aisle at the store, flip the bottle over and check the label for 2,4-D specifically. If it's not listed, put it back and keep looking. I'll leave a link to the exact product I personally use in the description below, so you don't have to guess. There's one thing I need to stress, and I mean this seriously. Read the label before you apply anything. It tells you exactly how many ounces to mix per gallon of water. It tells you how much product to apply per 1,000 square feet of lawn. And it tells you the safety equipment you should be wearing while you apply it. Those numbers aren't just legal fine print. They're there to protect your lawn, your family, and your pets. Skipping the label isn't saving time. It's just gambling with your yard. Now let's get to the part that actually breaks this cycle for good. because everything I've covered so far only deals with the spurge that's already growing. It doesn't stop next year's spurge from showing up in the exact same spot. The answer is pre-emergent herbicide. There are several types on the market, but the one that consistently performs the best in my experience contains the active ingredient protamine. Pre-emergent, exactly like the name suggests, stops weeds before they ever emerge from the soil. You're not killing spurge with this. You're stopping the next generation before it ever sees sunlight in the first place. Here's what makes this particular ingredient so useful. It's safe to use on both your lawn and your flower beds, which means you're not juggling two completely different products for two different areas of your yard. Timing is everything with pre-emergent, and this is where most people mess it up. You want your first application down once soil temperatures consistently hit around 55 degrees Fahrenheit. In most regions, that window falls somewhere between mid-February and early March, but it depends heavily on your specific climate zone. You might be wondering how you're supposed to know when your soil actually hits 55 degrees. There are two simple ways. The USDA maintains a soil temperature map online that you can look up and zoom into your specific area, or the low-tech method that works just as well. Stick an old meat thermometer about 2 inches into the ground and check the reading yourself. For the best results, use what's called a split application and put down half the recommended rate when soil temperatures first hit 55 degrees, then come back roughly 6 weeks later and apply the second half. This gives you a much longer window of protection against spurge and against several other weeds that follow the same germination pattern. So here's the bottom line on all of this. Spurge keeps coming back year after year because most people fight the plant instead of fighting the seed. Kill what's already growing, pull it or spray it depending on where it is, and then put down your preventative treatment at the right time. Do all three of those things and you're not just clearing your yard for this season, you're actually breaking the cycle permanently going forward. If this helped you understand what you're actually up against, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, because every single week I put out a new video covering exactly this kind of problem. The stuff that's actually happening in your yard right now, not generic advice you've already heard 100 times. And if you know someone who's been fighting this exact same battle with spurge, or with any weed that just won't quit, go ahead and share this video with them. It might save them years of frustration. Before you go, take a look through the rest of the channel. There's a good chance the exact plant or problem sitting in your yard right now already has its own video waiting for you. Come back anytime you run into something new out there. Chances are we've already covered it, or we're about to. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.